4.1, Graphing Quadratic Functions. So this lesson's all about how to graph parabolas. We did a basic version before, but now we're going to go in depth in parabolas. First, a quadratic function is a function where the highest term is x squared, or y squared, where the highest term is a squared. If you have this quadratic function here, you can see that's a quadratic term, don't want the x squared in it. The a, b is a linear term, and c is a constant term. We call those functions parabolas. The graph of that function we call it parabola. First, I always like to do, let's see what this looks like. And the first time I always do it with a table. And go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So my x's, I plug it in, plug in 0, I just get 5. I plug in 1, 2 times 1 squared minus 8 times 1 plus 5. That's this one. 2 minus 8 plus 5, negative 1. Okay. Plug in 2, I get 4, 8, 16 plus 5, negative. Plug in 3, 9, 18, I get negative 1. Plug in 4, and I get 5. Anyway, graph it. 2, negative 3, 0, 5, probably should start there. 0, 5, and then 1, negative 1, and then 3, negative 1, and then 4, 5. And you get this parabola. That's a bad graph, but that's the idea, parabola. I want to point out a couple things. First, this right here, this point right there, which in this case is 2, negative 3, that's called the vertex. It's the start of your graph. If you ever do a table, you want that to be the middle of your table. If you make a table, make that the middle. We'll say this is H and K, it'll make more sense later. That's the vertex. Another key point, when you cut your graph in half at the vertex, there's a line that does that. We call that line the axis of symmetry. If you see it, it's the exact same thing as the x in the vertex, is that x equals 2. It's always going to be true. The x in the vertex is also the axis of symmetry. And there's one more thing I want to point out, and that is the y-intercepts. There's a y-intercept right there. On that y-intercept, you set x equals 0. There's actually x-intercepts here and here. We'll do solving those later in this chapter, I should say. Intercepts. Those are the key things. When you draw a parabola, all the bells and whistles, we're going to need the vertex, we're going to need the axis symmetry, and we're generally going to need a y-intercept. Draw a nice parabola. So let's talk about the shortcuts right here. If I give you a normal quadratic graph right here, a couple of things. If you want to find the y-intercept, we always talk about y-intercept, just set the x equals 0. Here's the big one. If you want the axis of symmetry, formula for it. Axis of symmetry is x equals negative b over 2a. So if you want to find axis of symmetry, if you have the general equation, you can use the formula negative b over 2. That gets you the axis of symmetry. Why is it important? Because with axis of symmetry, you also have the x in the for your vertex. It's just the x value is negative b over 2. When you find the y value, you just plug it in. Anytime you have an x value, you find the y value that goes with it, plug it into the formula. So a lot of times you see it written like this in a book. Say f of negative b over 2a. That just means plug it in. Plug your x value. When you see that, that's all that means. Those are the key things. If you want to find axis of symmetry, negative b over 2a. If you want to find the vertex, well, the x symmetry is also the x value. Plug it into your equation to find the y value. And if you want to find the y-intercept, set x equals 0. Let's graph a couple doing it that way. Here's our equation. We want to find the y-intercept, the equation of the axis of symmetry, and the x-coordinate of the vertex. So we're going to do that. Let's do the y-intercept first, because that's what it asks for. We set x equals 0. Plug in 0, goes away, you just get 5. You plug in 0, and you get y equals 5. Also known as a point 0. That's my y-intercept. That's x equals negative b over 2a. Here's my a, coefficient. Here's my b. Here's my c. X equals negative 8 over 2 times 2. Axis of symmetry is x equals 2. Let's find the vertex. I already know the vertex has 2 and something, because it's axis exact same. We just plug it into 2 times 2 squared minus 8 times 2 plus 5. This is 4. 8 minus 16 plus 5. Negative a plus 5 is negative. That's my vertex. This thing says make a table of values that include the vertex. If I was to do that, I'll do the exact same thing I did here. Where make a table, make the vertex in the middle. I want this stuff. I want the general concept stuff. If I was going to graph this, I'll use all my information. My vertex is 2. My axis of symmetry is at x equals 2. And then I have a y-intercept at 5. There we go. Then when you draw it, I just try to make the two sides match. I want to hit this way and try to do the exact same on this side. And that's my parabola. Let's do another one. It's the same idea. I want to find the y-intercept. Set x equal to 0. Plug in 0, and that goes away, you just get negative. My y-intercept is at 0 when I plugged in, and negative 1. Let's find the axis of symmetry. X equals negative b over 2a. My a here is negative 1, it's a coefficient. You never just put x, it's always just the coefficient. It should be a number. Here b is 6, and then this is my c, negative 1. In this case, I get x equals negative 6 over 2 times negative 1. Negative 6 over negative 2, or just 3. My axis of symmetry is x equals 3. Then my vertex, I have the x value already. I just got to find the y. We're always just plugging into the equation. This goes first. It's 9, and then the negatives on the outside is -9 plus 18 minus 1. That's 9 minus 1 is 8. So that's my vertex. And then if we're going to graph it, there we go. If I want to graph it, I just got to go 3 and 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right there. Axis symmetry is 3. So I'm going to draw a little dotted line right here. It's always the x on the vertex. And then my y-intercept is 0, -1. So this. If I graph it, it's opening down of all things. Ooh, that should be more curved. Look at this one's opening down. The one we just did is opening up. You know what the difference is? It has to do with your A. Positive A has a parabola that opens up. A negative A has a parabola that's opening. If you look at these two, the one that opens down has a maximum point. This is the highest you could reach. So when A is negative, you have a max. Can't higher than that point right there. When A is positive, you open up. You have a minimum point. When A is positive, and that's leading to our next thing. How do you find the maximum value of something? Well, they're just the vertexes. When A is positive, you have a min. When A is negative, you have a max because it opens down. If you want to find the max or min value, all you have to do is find the vertex. When I say that, let's say this point right here, just to give an example, let's say that point is 0, 7. What's the max? It's actually not 0. A lot of people think it's the x value. It's the y value. The max or the min is the y value. X value is where it happens. If you want to find the max min, just find the vertex. The y value is actually what we're looking for because that's how high and how low it is. So that's your max or min. And then x value is where it occurs. Sometimes I might ask you a word problem and say, does that happen? Physical problems where we have to find the maximum equations. This problem right here, determine that what g function has a max or min value, find that value. Stay tuned. Look at this one. A is negative. That means it open down. This has a max. If I want to find it, let's just find the vertex. The way you find the vertex is negative b over 2a. I only have an a here. This is my a. I don't have a b. There's no x term, there's no constant term. They're both 0. In this case, I get -0 over 2 times -6, which is just 0. Okay, and then that's the x, my vertex, right? My vertex is 0, blank. Plug it in. You plug in 0 into the equation, you get -6 times 0 squared, which is just 0. I get 0, 0. My max is just 0, the y value. Which you kind of know already. We should know this graph. That graph is a parabola that starts right here and opens down. It's a negative, opens down. It has a vertical stretch of 6. There's that one. Let's look at the next one. Same idea. Oh, it's positive. It's a min. We got to find the vertex. X equals negative b over 2a. I get -8 over 2 times 3. I get -8 over 6. That's the x of my vertex. I want the actual max. I need the y value. Plug that in. It's going to be y equals 3 over -4/3 squared plus 8 times -4/3 plus 5. Get all that, and that is your max. That looks ugly. You can actually do it. It's not too bad. You can actually square it. You get 16 over 9. Times it by 3. Then you actually get 16 over 3. Over there, you get -32 over 3. Common denominator. It's doable. It's just a little ugly. But that is your max. And actually, sorry, in this case, your min value. That's how I find the max and min. If you notice, that was ugly. I did it on purpose because I want to show you how to do it on the calculator also. So another thing we can do on the calculator. We'll just do one of these. This calculator's not that bad. The way we do this on the calculator, we're going to find a max and min. Step 1, type it into our calculator. I got to put my calculator. There it is. Turn it on. Step 1, just type it in. Go y equals. And then we're going to type that equation in. 3x squared plus 8x plus 5. I'm going to graph it. My window's off. So you see it earlier. The easy way to fix your window. By the way, you can stop progress by pressing on. Just press zoom standard. So it's something like this. The min is right here. I'm trying to find the min right there. How do we do it? We're going to use our favorite button, which is second calculate. Second calculate, there's value, there's 0, and then there's a min and max. I'm going to find the minimum. Now, the way this works is like this. Let me show you over here. They're going to give us a graph, and it's going to ask us for lower bound. What you do is, here's the min. The lower bound means just move your cursor until it's past that size. It's over here somewhere. Or left bound, they'll say. You want that to be your left. Make that furthest left you can search. I'll ask you for a right bound. You can go past the min onto the other side. You make that your right bound. And what the calculator is going to do is going to search in between those two values you set to find the minimum. See how it says left bound? I'd like to move to the min. It's around there. Then move left a little bit. And it says right bound. Go back to the min. Move right a little bit. Hit enter. It says guess. Yes, hate it. Yeah, guess. Of course, guess. And then you get your min. -0.3 or -4/3 and -0.3 or 1/3. The minimum is the y value, -1/3 or 4.3. Over it. Let's look at the 48 real quickly. A couple things with 48. First of all, it's a max. Look at the A. This is your A. That's your B. That's your C. A is always the thing with the x squared, not the way it's positioned. You could rearrange this. That's your A. It's a negative opening down. It's a max this time. This is real quickly. So y equals negative 16 minus 14. Notice I put a negative when it's the first number in the thing I'm typing in. I put a subtraction sign what's in between things. And then minus 12 x squared. Hit graph. I want to show you this on purpose because when I graph it, I don't see anything. This graph is not a normal viewing window. I got to fix my viewing windows. A couple ways you could do it. You could zoom fit, works for some people. Zoom fit tries to fit it in for you so you could get a nice view. But for me, it doesn't work always the greatest. It's not that bad. There you go. This is why zoom fit. And then we're going to find the max. Go second, calculator, maximum. Hard to see where it's at, but look right. I told you where it's at. Right now it's at almost 0. I'm going to go a little left. You can move until you see if it helps you. That's definitely left of the max. And you go right. If you press second in there, it goes faster. But here's this. You just hold it down. You want to go right of the max. And then you put guess. It finds your max rate. Negative 11 point. That's my max. That's the y value. X values we're having that. And there we go. That's a lesson.